Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday. Happy Education Monday. We are at the learning board once again. I feel that I'm going to continue this trend as long as you guys are giving me positive feedback. Drop in the comments if you are watching live or on the replay, where you are watching from. Tell me how your weekend was, because here in Columbus, Ohio, it was so fantastic. The weather was warm, sunny. Today was beautiful. If you guys hit up any parks, let me know what you did with the family to get through this quarantine. Just extravaganza. It's been great. And once again, I am here with a beverage. Last week was completely alcohol-free, and I have added just a drop of Tito's, and I am 100% transparent with you guys that you need to de-stress sometimes, and as business owners, parents, just hard workers in general, if that is something that you feel once a week you want to engage in and having one adult beverage, who am I to tell you not to do that? That is actually something that I tell my clients to do if that's going to help them relax and get through the week. Then you know what? Everything in moderation is key, right? Cheers to that. Anyone that would agree with me, give me a little cheers in the comments. And by no means am I saying that alcoholism is something that I am an advocate of, because that is far from the truth. But de-stressing, especially during quarantine, is key. Now, also, anyone that actually likes this whole setup and likes the learning aspect of the lives, let me know in the comments. If you are totally 100% liking this whole thing, give me a thumbs up or a woohoo or a hurrah or whatever the heck you want to give me, or just be like, Sarah, just give me the workouts and let's just cut to the chase. But at the end of the day, you guys, knowledge is power, and that's why I'm standing here right now, because I thought, even when I'm shoving these routines down your throat, it doesn't matter if you're doing them, if you're not doing the other things correctly, okay? So here we are with high intensity interval training. This is something that I kind of jump over a lot, because I feel that so many people know what it stands for, know what it means, know, you guys know how to do it. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of people are not doing it correctly, and I think a lot of people are overdoing it. And I'm not trying to, call anyone out. I'm not trying to say that if you're doing this type of workout, it's terrible and it's working against you and you should never do it, because I am a big advocate of doing what you enjoy. So if you are a marathon runner, and you know darn well that that is not the most efficient way of burning fat, but gosh darn it, I thoroughly enjoy long distance running. Keep on with your bad self. Like, keep going, keep doing it, because who cares? Like, if you are that stressed out about losing weight, then that'll be your top priority, and you'll shift things, and then you won't enjoy the running so much, right? But Orange Theory, a lot of CrossFit, doing spinning classes, things like that are very high intensity interval training focused, okay? So that is basically doing short bouts of all out effort, like pedal to the metal, full throttle. You want to get your heart rate up to 85 to 100% of your max heart rate. 220 minus your age is your max heart rate. You want to bust it for anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds, all out effort, followed by about 30 to 60 seconds recovery. You're still moving, you're still doing something at a medium pace, and then you hit it again, okay? It's a great thing to incorporate for anyone, but again, it's all relative. So if you are a newbie watching these videos, and you're like, okay, high intensity interval training, heck, I'm not even getting my butt off the couch right now. Do I need to jump and do this before I even start jogging, half a block? Absolutely not, okay? I am all about progression, okay? Starting from where you were at right now. And that's the beauty, I love working with beginners, because they are discouraged at first because they feel like, I have so far to go. I'm looking at this person who's up here and they've been working out 6 days a week and they've been doing nutrition, you know, like to the T, and I have so much far to go. But you guys, if you are a beginner, that is so exciting because you're going to have results that much quicker and you have that much more progress to go and to achieve. And so you're going to have that much more success, right? So, I mean, I'm trying to get through to the beginners that you should be so excited, even if you are just starting your journey, like super excited. Drop some love in the comments for anyone that is beginning. Drop some love, drop some motivational words, you know, because it can be a struggle, especially with quarantine and everyone's a little bit down on themselves and the situation. And you know, you think of all the things and everyone's on social media a little bit more than what they typically are. And it's easy to play the comparison game. And I hate that game, but we all do it. I'm getting sidetracked like I always do. But yes, so beginners, do not fret. Be excited about the journey. And yeah, that's what I have to say about beginners. But so start where you're at. Start moving. Movement is key. It's all relative to where you're at right now. Now, for any of you that are intermediate to advanced and you're like, I am doing HIIT. I am doing my resistance training routines. I'm even doing some steady state. I'm checking everything off the box that, you know, like they're listing to be the end all be all for fat burning and making my body a fat burning machine. If any of you are watching right now or on the replay and you feel like everything any coach has told you, any research that you have done, everything you have heard, you're doing, and you cannot figure out why you are not losing weight, drop a 1 in the comments. I would like to know because a lot of people are out there frustrated, and a lot of my people that I work with come to me and they're like, you know what? I've done everything this person told me to do, this person told me to do, but where am I falling short? Because I mean, there's only so much I can do. And I am killing it in the kitchen. I'm eating everything I should be eating. I'm doing intermittent fasting. Half of these people, I don't work with keto people, but I've heard it before. I'm doing keto, intermittent fasting. I'm doing high intensity interval training. I'm doing my resistance. I'm sleeping the way I should be sleeping. What is it, you know? And so those of you that may have answered 1, you may benefit from what I have to say because, again, sometimes more is not better. Less is more. And with this, so if you're not aware, high intensity interval training is more anaerobic. So it's in the same category as resistance training, okay? So we're using carbs for fuel. When you're doing steady state cardio, which means you're at the same intensity, the same pace throughout, and you're doing longer durations, and you're doing, you know, long distance running, you're doing long distance biking, you're going for a long walk, anything like that is steady state cardio. We are using fat for fuel. So not the debate, but kind of, is that like what's better, right? And again, it's all relative to your goals, to where you're at, what you're doing. But, you know, you hear, well, fat burning is my goal. So steady state cardio might be better for me than high intensity. Well, the fact of the matter is we want to look at the afterburn effect of it. So EPOC stands for excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. So when you're sucking the air, you know, you're doing the high intensity interval training. I tell people, if you're doing it correctly, your all out energy, you should not be able to talk, okay? You should not be able to carry on a conversation with anyone. You should borderline feel like you are asthmatic, okay? If anyone that does any kind of high intensity interval training cardio can agree with me, and you know that feeling when you have been like, oh my gosh, like, you know, there is no way in heck I can even answer to someone right now, drop a heck yes, I understand in the comments, because if you're doing it correctly, that is what you're doing. You're all out effort, all out. And you're definitely not holding on. So like a lot of people I'll see at the gym and they tell me I'm doing my HIIT, and then I'll see them go upstairs on the treadmill and they're like holding on and they're running as fast as they can holding on, or they're doing the elliptical and they're holding on. That's not high intensity interval training, okay? It is busting your ass as fast and as hard as you can, okay? So when you're doing that, you're using up oxygen. Okay, so it takes the afterburn, so the amount of energy it takes post HIIT routine is so much greater than steady state. Okay, so when we're getting that oxygen back to where it was before, you're burning calories. Okay, so the net calorie burn from the afterburn of the high intensity interval training is a lot more than the steady state. Okay, so you might be burning fat for fuel during the steady state, but the overall calorie burn from HIIT is going to be greater. Okay, not to say it's better, but it's just different. You know, it's just two different things, because carbs versus fat. And you know, at the end of the day, you want to like look at the overall picture of what your whole regimen looks like and what your goals are. And, you know, HIIT is great for a lot of reasons, right? But it can be working against you for a lot of reasons too, because you're tapping into the central nervous system when you're doing the high intensity interval training, and you're increasing your metabolic rate, yes, but if you're doing too much of it, then you can be stressing your adrenals, and which means that you could be storing fat and you could be dumping glucose, and it can also increase your injury risk. You see it all the time. CrossFitters, people that are doing really, really fast, hard, you know, all out effort, you get sloppy with form, you can get injured, you're moving very quickly, you can get injured. Steady state, you can get injured as well, because you're just wearing and tearing, and it's repetitive movements for so long, and it's just two different ways. And you got to look at it like, okay, well, you know, it's hard to compare the two, you know, because would you rather wear and tear the body and increase cortisol over long periods of time? Or would you rather do this and it benefits you in a lot of ways, but you have to be aware that you have wear and tear on the body only if, I should stress the importance, only if you are not doing it correctly and getting the proper amount of rest between bouts of HIIT. Okay, so that is what I want to focus on right now, because a lot of people that come to me and they're like, you know, I do Orange Theory. And I've actually had 5 different women tell me that they are Orange Theory advocates, right? In the comments, if you are not too proud, I will not judge whatsoever. Let me know, are you an Orange Theory lover? Have you in the past? Tell me, drop it in the comments, say yes, Orange Theory. Tell me what your take is ever since quarantine, because 5 different women have reached out to me. And they're like, you know what, I've been doing your routines. I've been following everything you've been saying. My body feels so much better. My joints, everything just feels so much better since I've stopped Orange Theory and I've done your program. And these aren't even people, I mean, one of which is one of a paying online client of mine. But 4 others are literally just following me daily, and they're listening to everything I'm saying and they're doing, and they're telling me that they're seeing changes in their body that they were seeing in the very beginning of Orange Theory. Because anytime you start something new, you're going to see changes, because again, it's that instant, like it's the new switch, you're shocking the body, it's brand new, your body's going to react, right? But the test, the challenge is, can I maintain this, and how is my body going to feel and react in the long run, right? It doesn't really matter how it's looking. If your body's feeling like a piece of junk and it's feeling like it's breaking down, and you feel like you have to take all these different, you know, supplements to make your joints feel better, then it's counterproductive, in my opinion. You shouldn't have to feel like you're taking a slew of supplements to make your body feel good. And it's because a lot of people are telling you, you got to stress the body, you got to wear and tear, and you got to do it, and you got to, and that's true to a certain degree, but rest is crucial. It is absolutely crucial. And that's what I tell these women. I'm like, look, all I know, I've never done an Orange Theory class, but all I do know is that it's all about high intensity interval training. And it's boom, 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 boom. It's fast paced. It's burn, burn, burn. Get your heart rate in the right zone. And if you are doing that 2 times a week, that's right. that is what you should be doing. Maybe 3. Maybe 3. If you are doing it any more than 3 days a week, it's going to work against you. It's going to work against you, especially if you're doing any kind of resistance training on top of that, because you guys, you are stressing your body out way too much. I think you can read what's going on here, but just to prove a point, there was a study done in 2019 by Les Mills. I think that's his name. Yeah, Les Mills, I believe. And it basically pinpointed the exact amount of time that is the maximum that you should be doing weekly for high intensity interval training. And then once you exceed that amount, then it's working completely against you, and it can add to stored fat, and it can add to increased injury and wear and tear on the body and all that bad stuff that we want to prevent, okay? So he is saying that you need to stay under 50 minutes per week of high intensity interval training. Now, I want to explain that because it's not 50 minutes total. So if you're doing, I personally tell my online clients when they're doing their HIIT training to do a total of 20 minutes. And, some do 15, some do 25, but never more than 25. And the bulk of doing your 30 seconds to 30 seconds is probably like anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, okay? So you are only counting the on cycles. So when you're busting your ass for 30 seconds, you're all out, you're doing high knees, you're doing sprints, whatever it is. So if you're doing in that little bout, let's say, 10 minutes total is the on, and that's typically what it is, like 10, never any more than 15 minutes in one bout of the on, stressed out, full out max. And if any of you guys are watching that are online clients of mine, then drop a fire emoji in the comments and let me know if you absolutely, fire emoji just because, right? Because it's tough to do high intensity interval training, but you know what it feels like. Your body's on fire. And when you're doing that, so you're only counting the on period. So if you are doing a cumulative of over 50 minutes, which would really mean 100 minutes, right, total, you are stressing your body out too much, and you are going to not reap the benefits of HIIT. You're not going to get the good boosts of human growth hormone, testosterone, all that stuff that you want. And the reason being, you're going to actually increase. So cortisol and testosterone are something that are released from the body when we do HIIT, okay, HIIT. When you are doing that, no, they find that you want to have the surge, the increase of those hormones, but you also want to have the drop, okay? So that's the important part, is the increase, but the drop. Now, if you're doing any more than 50, then you're not going to have that drop that we want to see, and you're going to stay elevated. So what happens when cortisol levels, the stress hormone, stays elevated? We store fat. We cannot burn fat. So that's a huge problem. And that's why they're saying that if you are doing under 50 minutes per week, you're in the sweet spot. And you also want to make sure that you're doing rest days. So I tell my clients, do not do your HIIT back-to-back days. If you absolutely, positively can't figure out another way to do it, then just skip a day. Don't do 2 to 3 days. Sub out that extra day and do a long walk and breathe in the fresh air and get your vitamin D from the sunshine and hear the birds chirping and get in your happy place, right? Pour yourself a darn cocktail. Can I get an amen, right? Let me know what you guys are sipping on tonight. Let me know I'm not the only one, right? Right. And sleep. You guys, too many people are struggling with sleep, and I know there are a ton of different factors in the mix when it comes to sleep, but 8 hours is really the sweet spot. 7 to 8 hours. If you're like me, if I get any more than 8, I literally feel like crud the next day. I feel like I am lethargic and I'm dragging ass all day, and it's just not pretty. I mean, I think I got 11 hours the other day with Presley. She does sleep with me most nights. I'm not even going to lie. And I don't even care to admit that because you know what? Before I became a mom, I was all over the people that told me that their kids slept in their bed. I'm like, oh my God, that's terrible. That is just terrible. How? That kid needs to get in their own bed. Just cry it out method. And now I'm a mom. I'm a single mom and I am craving the cuddles all day long and she wants to be with mommy. So you know what? She's sleeping with mommy when she wants to, okay? Can I get an amen to that? And all the judgers out there. You know, this is a side note because, you know, I cannot do a video without just being real. I had a hater on my last educational flow talking about my eyebrows. I'm sitting here trying to educate the world on Facebook, and he's saying that I look so angry that he's afraid I'm going to kill him. Really? Do I look that angry? Let me know your take. Drop it in the comments. I mean, because, back in the day, I over-plucked. My eyebrows were arched more than they should have been. And I let my brows grow back in. And just because they are bold, and in my opinion, beautiful, doesn't mean that I'm trying to kill anyone. There are days where I might have the thought of anger towards some of those comments, yes, but I digress, my friends. I digress. Oh. And no, I won't call him out on here. I don't even know if he's a friend of mine. I feel like these trolls just find these live videos and they like to talk about people's eyebrows, apparently. But protein. So something I want to say is that, you know, you hear people talking about you need 1.5 grams per pound body weight. False. Per pound of lean muscle mass, okay? So people are just looking at your weight. If you ever have someone that you're working with online and they're calculating it, they're taking your body weight and you're like, I'm 200 pounds, and they just times 1.5, that's the amount of protein I need in a day, that's wrong, okay? So people are way over consuming protein, and they're not taking into consideration that there's fat mass in the body. Like 200 pounds is not 100% muscle for anyone. We all have pounds of fat in our body. So just be aware of that your protein, people might be telling you you need a lot more than what you really do, okay? And if that's something that you are more intrigued with and you want to up your nutrition game and you want to really like hone in on the specifics, DM me. But yeah, 1.5 is not the overall weight, okay? Water, you guys, chug a lug, a gallon a day. You know, it's just, it doesn't matter. Hot, like people are like, should it be room temperature? Should it be ice cold? Should it be warm? What should it be? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not that crucial. Okay, so I think I got everything on the board. If you guys have any comments, let me know. It's so hard not to see comments. So I think what I'm going to start doing is doing it on my laptop, so I can have a laptop here and then I can record here. I don't know. I've never claimed to be Miss Tech. But again, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Sharing is caring. So if you feel like anyone in your feed could benefit from knowing whether or not they're doing too much high intensity interval training or not enough, or if you know any friend that's like amped up because she's like Orange Theory rules, maybe in a couple months she might be plateauing and this might be why. 50 minutes total. A week. Okay? Have a great evening. And I will see you tomorrow night for a lower body routine. And that will start 5:45-ish. Dumbbells and step. Okay? Have a good one.